Dear colleagues, I'm glad to have another cup of tea with you. In today's lesson, I want to share with you how to present grammar using guided discovery method. I will use materials from the course book for the 6th grade. If you wish, you may turn in your book to Unit 13, pages from 213 till 217. While watching my demo lesson, please pay attention to the way I elicited the meaning and the function of the target structure. After the lesson, we will meet again and discuss it with another cup of tea. Hello dear students, I hope you're doing well and didn't forget the topic of our previous lesson. What did we talk about last time? Yes, exactly. Last time we've talked about weather omens. By the way, do you remember what omens are? Omens are superstitions and sayings about the weather. Signs or signals? I see you have a very good memory, class. What about we play a game to check how well you remember the words about the weather omens? Let's do it. Alright, look. So look at these 3 pictures and say, who is a wizard? Which picture is it? C, right. Okay. The second one, gardening. Exactly, it's picture C. Let's look at the third one, chimney. Is it B or C? No, we know that B is a wizard. Is it C? No, it's A. All right, and the last one. Everybody knows that A is a cow, yeah? And C is a cat. Smoke is in picture B. Good job, guys, you're well done. Now please look at these pictures and say to your classmate how the things and animals in the pictures are related to weather omens. Also explain to each other how they help you to predict the weather. Let's check who has a good memory. Alright, now work together with your classmate and try to complete these sentences from your memory. Let's check your answers. If you see a rainbow in the morning, there will be a storm. If clocks and watches tick louder, the weather will be very wet. C. If smoke from the chimney goes up, the weather will be clear. The weather will be windy if an old cat starts running and playing. E. When a dog eats grass, rain will come very soon. Alright, so now, do these sentences refer to past, present or future time? Let's look at the sentences. First one, if you see a rainbow in the morning, there will be a storm. Yes, we talk about the future. Do you use if to say that you are sure that one action will follow another action? No, we are not sure that actions will happen in the future when we use if. Then, do you use if or when to say that it is possible that one action will follow another action? Yes. If and when are about the possibility. Now, let's take a look at these sentences in the table and discuss the questions. Which form of the verb do we use in the main clause? Will plus the first form. Right. B. Which form of the verb do we use in the subordinate clause? The first form of the verb or infinitive without to. C. Can we use will after the words if and when? No, we can't. And the last one. Can we use the main clause before the subordinate clause? Absolutely yes. We can start our sentence with both the main and subordinate clauses. By the way, what punctuation do we use when subordinate clause is on the first place? Right, we use a comma. And what if we start our sentence with the main clause? Do we use the punctuation? No, we don't. All right, so now let's look at these examples which talk about the future. You will catch a cold if a cat sneezes 3 times. When Malik arrives, I'll ask about the future, but we use a present tense after a, if and when. If Nurlan comes, I'll tell him, you think Nurlan might come. When Nurlan comes, I will tell him. In this sentence, you mean that you know Nurlan will come. And B, when and as soon as. As soon as Nurlan comes, we'll have a lunch. It means that you want to have lunch immediately. But when you say when Nurlan comes, we'll have lunch, it's not that urgent. All right, it's not that urgent. Okay, now it's high time to practice what we have learned and do some quiz. You will see a sentence with the gap on the screen. Read it and choose the correct word to complete the sentence. You'll answer right after you choose the best option. It will come up as a green tick if you answer correctly. So let's start. If dogs begin running in circles, the weather is, will be, or will. Which one is correct, guys? B, right? Very good. When the birds are fly low, will fly, or fly low to the ground, it will rain. Which option is the best one? When the birds fly. C is correct. Great. If there is nothing good on TV tonight, I will go out, or won't go out. Of course, if there is nothing good on TV tonight, you will go out. Good job. I will buy new jeans when I will have. B, has, or C, have. I will buy new jeans when I have enough money. Very good. If a cat will washes or wash in front of the door, the guests come, will come, or comes. Think. B is correct. Well done, guys. Let's do one more activity. Please read the sentences and write the correct form of the verbs in brackets. When you finish, please work with your partner and compare your answers. Now let's check your answers together. Number 1. When Tom gets home after school, he will do his homework. Number 2. If it rains tomorrow, Beth will come to school by car. 3. Aisha will become a teacher when she leaves the university. 4. Terry will play computer games when he does his homework. 5. If Kate doesn't wake up early tomorrow, she will be late for school. Well, now boys and girls, you work with your classmate and replace the names in the sentences with the names of people in the class. How many true sentences can you make? Let's play a game. Read the sentence beginning on the card and continue the sentence with your own idea. You'll miss the train if. You'll be very healthy if. I'll answer the phone if. I'll cook dinner for you if. If I'm bored. If you exercise every day. I'll be lonely if. I'll take my dog to the vet if. You'll feel better if. We'll be lucky if. If you don't take an umbrella. if you drink too much coffee, if you eat too much, you'll be cold if, you'll be in a big trouble if you practice English every day, if you invite me to your house, you'll pass the test if you're late to class, you won't have money. So that's it for today. You did a great job today. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time. Dear teachers, now it's time to have some tea and discuss the demo lesson. You probably noticed that I started my lesson with a game. What was its purpose? Did the students practice something, or was it just for fun? Well, we played this game to revise the vocabulary. And it was done not only to energize students, but also to smoothly move on to the main part of the lesson, which was the introduction of the new grammar topic. After the game, I asked students to look at the pictures and say how the things and animals in the pictures were related to weather omens. I asked the students to explain to each other how they help to predict the weather in order to check their memory and activate their background knowledge. Then the students worked together and completed the sentences from their memory. After that, I asked the class to answer the questions about the sentences from the exercise on their own. As you remember, there were 3 questions, like, do the sentences refer to past, present, or future time? Do you use if to say that you are sure that one action will follow another action? Do you use if or when to say that it's possible that one action will follow another action? In the next task, I asked students to look at the sentences in the table and answer the questions about rules by giving short answers. Why were these tasks done in this way? These activities helped students to understand the grammar structure on their own. I used the method known as the guided discovery method. By dragging students' attention to the sentences from the text, I helped students to find the rules themselves. Finding information this way creates a feeling of satisfaction and increases interest in learning. While presenting the grammar and using this technique, don't forget to ask questions that encourage the learners to notice the language and think about it. Our national textbooks are developed to make teaching and the whole process of learning easier. In this lesson, you don't have to make up questions to check the students' understanding of the grammar. Everything is in the book. Do you remember the questions in the exercise? Which form of the verb do we use in the main and subordinate clause? Can we use will after the words if and when? Do we use if to say that we're sure that one action will follow another action? And of course, give students enough time to practice the grammar structure. I'm pretty much sure that students won't have any problems when doing the exercises. You must have noticed that we did one of the activities online. I used the same site to play the vocabulary check game. I strongly recommend to register on this site. It's called Word Wall. There you can create your own activities and impress your students during the class. In order to do this activity in the class, you need an access to internet and a projector. You can also send a link to the activity to your students and ask them to do some tasks online. Students love it because they don't have to open their workbooks, they don't need pencils. They only need to have an access to internet and a great desire to learn. I will leave the name of the site here below. Feel free to register and make your lessons even more interesting and visually attractive. This game and another activity that followed it were controlled. Students had to choose the correct option in the first exercise. Open up the brackets and write the correct form of the verb in the second one. So there was only one correct answer. Their language was controlled. What about the activity in which students had to replace the names in the sentences from the exercise with the names of people in the class? Did they produce the language? No, they didn't. Did they have freedom to choose the name of this person? Yes. So that's why this kind of exercise is called a semi-controlled exercise. If it was a real lesson, I would ask students to talk to each other. So was it a communicative activity? Would it be communicative activity? Right, it would be. And finally, the last activity with the cards was free activity. The students were asked to continue the sentences using the correct structure. For example, if the sentence starts like this, if I buy a new bike, they have to finish the sentence saying their own example. So, can the teacher know the students' answers beforehand? No. Can she or he predict what the students will say? No. In this task, they have freedom to experiment with the language. So, let's sum up the main points. The method, known as the guided discovery method, increases independence and also helps students understand the subject material better because they have to discover it on their own. I hope that after watching this lesson, you can conduct a good lesson on grammar using the guided discovery method. If you have any questions regarding the lesson or methodology, please write to our email or in our website forum to get this info. Our Lingua Tea Club is always open to our professional talk. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time.